Little ranty poos today, albeit I think a warranted one, because season ticket prices have gone up. Yes, they've been put up between 4 and 8% at a time when you're struggling, as I mentioned earlier on in the week, to afford your Bisto gravy. Had to go down to the little stuff, the Aldi. It's got to be done. It's less than £1, quite frankly. The Bisto stuff is over at £3, but it's not just your Bisto gravy, is it? Let's be fair. It's your electricity bills. It's your gas bills. It's the price of fuel in your petrol tank, or well, you probably don't want to do that if you've got a Tesla. Don't want to be sticking one of those in it. Everything. The cost of living is at an all-time high. We're seeing it in our weekly shop. We're seeing it in our energy bills. We're seeing it in the way we're trying to run just our lives. Yet at this time, when Premier League clubs have signed a deal worth over £5 billion, we're now being asked to fork out even more of our hard-earned money to go and watch what is not an improving product. Now, there's a number of things that really annoy me about this, and I know Gio is exactly the same. But before I go any further, we'd like to invite you to join us on Patreon, because we put our prices up by 8%. I'm joking. We haven't really. We don't. It's fine. It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke.
That was a bad joke.
It was a bad joke. Look, we're annoyed about this, and we are, because I just think it's absolutely taking the mickey at a time when everyone's struggling so much, and at the time when the club are hemorrhaging money. And when I say hemorrhaging money, I mean things like spending over £100,000 a week on a striker that doesn't even fit our style and is not being played. I looked at the liability for Areola, Gio, and in terms of his loan cost, in terms of his first loan fees, transfer fees, and wages, the whole liability for Areola is 40 million. This is for a goalkeeper who can't even get in the team, irrespective of how many goals we let him. We can let him 5 goals, let him 4 goals, whatever. It doesn't matter. He doesn't get a chance. That's a waste of money. If you're going to do that, just get a backup keeper. There's all manner of reasons why we're losing money. We're hemorrhaging money, and it's big money when all these players, they want a couple of extra pence for us. They really want their pound of flesh. And as I understand it, Gio, have they not changed the age of a? Basically, you've got to be older to be a pensioner now. Have I got that right?
Yeah, that's the thing that's probably annoyed me more than anything. The price increase, I think you could see coming. I think you could expect a price increase coming because of inflation, because of the cost of everything going up. It's an easy thing for the club to hide behind. I don't think it's the same for West Ham as it is for the majority of the Premier League clubs due to our deal with the London Stadium. That's a sort of separate argument here for 1 second. But what I didn't expect was they bumped the age up for the concessionary from 65 to 66, which, and they're hiding behind the government again here because they're saying, well, that's the new pension age, etc. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it. It doesn't mean that West Ham have to also bump it up. And if you are going to do it in 2 years' time and give everybody notice that you're going to do it. And I think it's the unexpected part that has really annoyed me, because there'll be some people out there that are now 65. They were expecting a discount on their season ticket for next season, and they've been told with 6 weeks' notice, oh, you're not getting a discount. So that extra couple of £100, you're gonna have to go find it, kind of thing. And that might play some people out, but I think it's taking liberties, quite frankly, especially when you get to the age of that. When you get to that age, when you're 65, there's a very good chance that you've been a West Ham fan for 65 years. There's a very good chance that you've spent a lot of money in 65 years supporting a club. And that discount, it might be because you're no longer working, but I also see it as a little bit of a reward for your loyalty to some extent. So here you go, here's a discount now for your latter years in life because of what you've given us over the last 65 years. Here's a discount. And it's gone, well, actually, we value your 65 years so little, we're going to delay it by another year. That's how little we value your 65. You can have an extra year on top of that one. You can pay full whack for that year. And it's not even that much for West Ham. When you think about how many people this will apply to, that specific age bracket. So there's 52,000 season ticket holders, 55,000 season ticket holders, however many we've got these days. And you think about how many actually qualify for the discount next year that are 65 only. It's such a low percentage. I think, really, come on. Like, I've got a bit of a problem with the overall price increase and how much it raises when you compare it to certain things, like you said, Danny Ings' wages. But that one thing in particular, I think it's low, to be honest. I think it's really, really low. The club got a lot right during COVID with how they handled furloughing staff, taking loans from the club got a lot right. I'll tell you what, they've got this one badly wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to go through a few things as I understand them in layman's terms. Gio alluded to the fact that we don't have the same liability, we don't have the same consequences as other clubs because we don't own our stadium. We've got a rental deal with basically with a stadium for the London Stadium, which is very good. But we all know this. We'll be retreading, we're re-walking on old ground to cover that. The value of that goes up in line with inflation. So even if we let's just use round numbers because it's easy. Let's say our rent for the stadium is £3 million a year. Now, if that goes up in line with inflation, let's say inflation was 10%, that would obviously be 300,000. That would be 10% of that. So next year it would be 3,300,000. As I understand it, the price increases are between that they will yield the club between £1.5 and £2 million.
Yeah,
That's already
roughly.
They're already making a profit. So they're not just basically doing it to offset their inflation, which, let's be fair, that they could take that out of the Sky money, the BT money, the television money, whatever it is. Yet they're still going to make a profit on that. And this is really important. And for this aspect, I can understand why the stadium, the LLDC, might be a little bit peeved with this. Because actually, you can bet that stadium is costing more than an additional £300,000 a year to run now because of the costs. Because, well, look, you think your electricity bill is high. Do you know what I mean? At home, you can imagine what that stadium is. The club don't pay it. The LLDC pay it. The stadium pays it. If food costs have gone up, and we know they have, the club don't have to foot that bill. It's Delaware North who run the food stalls in the stadium. So they will foot the bill. And that's why when you go in there, you'll be paying whatever the case may be, £8 for your beer or whatever. They will deal with that. It's not the club's financial liability. The cost of living crisis is not overly impacting the club. And I find this absolutely amazing that there's still this small amount of money. They're thinking, you know what, we'll pass that on to the fans. It's just the wrong thing to do, Gio.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Ings' wages for 6 weeks covers the price increases.
Yeah.
When you look at it like that, Alex Carl's loan fee was £2 million or whatever. It's £2 million is a lot of money, but in the context of things, you just feel like they didn't have to do this. The thing that's annoyed me is more now than ever, people need football. Football's an escape from real life. Saturday afternoon, you're able to forget about Monday to Friday. For 90 minutes, you're able to just forget about the cost of living. You're allowed to forget about the food bill. You're allowed to forget about work. Anything you've got going on in life. Football allows you to go into a bubble. You're allowed to enter this make-believe world where you can switch off, enjoy football for 90 minutes. And then when you leave the stadium, you go back to real life. But that bit on a Saturday afternoon is crucial to a lot of people, whether it be mental health, whether it be getting out of the house, whether it be socialising. There's a lot of people that only socialise at football. And you're pricing people out of it. And people are already having a tough time financially. But now you're making them arguably decide between that escape or not having an escape. And some people, and I include myself in this, I have to renew. It's not. I know people say just don't renew. Then you've got to agree with it. It's not that straightforward. It's possible to disagree, but also renew because you want to go see West Ham, and it's because I want to go see my friends before a football match and after a football match. It's important to me. It gives me something to look forward to, and more now than ever, people need that. And I just think the club have got this all wrong. They didn't need to do it. I feel like it's unnecessary. I think they could have got themselves a lot of kudos as well had they announced a price freeze, especially because there's a lot of, listen, West Ham are not the only Premier League club putting the prices up. There's a lot of Premier League clubs doing it because for 2 years, because of COVID, they weren't able to put the prices up without looking even greedier than usual. They had to sort of just say nothing for 2 years. And now it's like, right, let's squeeze it in quickly because for 2 years we weren't able to. So there's a lot of clubs doing it. And I think a lot of clubs are getting it wrong. But like I said, West Ham don't have the liability for the reasons you said, but also, wage increases for stewards or whatever. West Ham don't pay that sort of stuff. Our costs are minimal compared to a normal Premier League club. And I just feel like the taking advantage of a situation though at West Ham, I think is in line with other clubs, but I don't think it's as fair because of the lack of it, and it's really pissed me off. I've got another little rant, but I'll let you speak before I have my little rant.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say, we're in quite a privileged position doing Hammers Chat in as much as we've got access to so many people's opinions, because people message us on the comments, people message us on social media, people message us on the website, people message us privately, all of these things. So we have a means. Granted, can we harvest the opinions of 60,000 people? No, we can't. But we probably can harvest the opinions of a really good, quite a few thousand people, which is a decent cross section. And before even the price increases had been announced, the number of people that have said, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, I'm not sure. Number one, I'm going to be able to renew, because this is a triple-edged sword now. I'm not going to be able to renew, and it's before the price increases because of money, because my job's changed, because I'm having cut costs, whatever. I've gone down to a 4-day week. I hear that quite a lot. It's quite common now, actually. And the other thing is, the football is so bad that actually it's then hard to justify. The other thing that I've noticed a lot of people have said, and granted, this is a byproduct of having European football. There are so few Saturday kickoffs that it impacts people who have children, and then obviously it makes it difficult to go to the Sunday game, to then get home and sort of prepare for the Monday and that sort of thing. So for those sort of three reasons, I was hearing a lot of people saying, not sure I will renew for next season. There was a lot, and that was before these price increases came in. And I do wonder now that the club are probably thinking it's not a big deal, and the club are probably going to try and sell the concept. Well, hold on, we've just had a spend up of 200 million. But when you look at how much additional revenue it will yield, which is, as we say, between £1.5 and £2 million, it's not really the difference between a signing Lucas Paqueta or not. That money is coming from the television money, or the bulk of the money that was already there from season ticket money. And I just feel it's a little bit miserly, a little bit mean to be doing it, actually. And it's not a very good look. What did you want to talk about, Jay?
Well, before I do, there is a petition against the season ticket price increases, which has been organised by Hammers United. It's got nothing to do with us, but we're happy to point in the direction of it. So the link will be in the description. So if you wish to sign it, please do. There's over 2,000 names on there at present, and it's just to voice your displeasure with the price increase, and also bumping that age from 65 to 66 up as well. All I will say is, you don't have to not be able to afford a season ticket in order to disagree with the price increases. I've seen one or two people say, well, I've paid it, I'm renewing, kind of thing. And it's a little bit, I'm all right, Jack, thanks attitude. And I don't like that. I think it's very distasteful. So all I would say is, if you disagree with it, consider signing it, regardless of whether you're going to renew or not. Regardless of if you're a season ticket holder or not, you can still disagree with this and live in America. You can still think the club are doing wrong. This petition isn't say I can't afford it or I'm not going to renew. This petition is say I disagree with how the club have handled the season ticket renewals. That is what the petition is. So it's possible to disagree without actually being part of the process, if you like.
Sorry, Jay, just before you do, just on that, it's on change.org. Please, if you can't find it in the description below, I know sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do on your phone. I struggle with it. So sometimes I try and do the drop down when I'm watching a video. I try and do the drop down comments, and I get all the comments. I don't get the description, so it's not the easiest thing to find. It's on change.org. If you put on West Ham season ticket petition, then it will take you to it. It's been made by Andy Byrne. At the moment, it's sat there on 2,167, and they need to make it to start giving it some real traction. They need over 2,500. We do, and they're not asking. It's not an unreasonable request. It's just saying, can we just keep them the same? It's not like saying give everyone their money back. Can we just keep it the same? And to be fair to the club, there are some tickets. A £99 season ticket. Junior season ticket for tiers 5 and 6 remains, all right, but the vast majority have gone up between 4 and 8%. And as Gio said, that moving the age of a pensioner, that is a measly mean old move. Anyways, sorry, Gio, what were you going to say?
Well, I'm just going to say, when you get a season ticket, it's about the match day experience, and that match day experience is crap. We've been there a long time now. 7 years we've been at the London Stadium now. It's more than enough time to have sorted it, and I still don't enjoy it. I don't like the stadium. I don't mention it very often because I don't want to be a broken record kind of thing. But now and again, you see the comments where, oh, people don't moan about London Stadium now in European football. Actually, I'm just don't want to moan about it. But because we're doing a video which is in relation to London Stadium, I'll say it now. I hate the stadium. I still don't like it. I've got used to it, but I don't like it. I hate the searches, and the football in the stadium isn't great. But in a weird way, I'm sort of okay, not okay with that. I'm used to that as well. Under Allardyce and stuff, under Kirbishley, I've seen boring football before, but now the match day experience is poor. And I know, again, I see people say, well, turn up earlier, but I don't want to turn up earlier. I don't want to turn up to the ground an hour and a half before kickoff, because the match day part I do enjoy is away from the London Stadium. That's with people, having a beer with friends and stuff. So if I start giving that up,
an affordable beer with friends,
and it will get even less enjoyable for me. So I think what they're doing is not only are they saying, oh, can we have your money, but we can have a price increase, but the experience has arguably got worse over the years. It's certainly not got any better for me. I've just got used to it, but I think the stadium's still crap. It's still not a football stadium. I've given up hoping that they're going to make improvements. They try and improve bits here and there, but I don't really notice a difference if I'm honest with you. So yeah, it's not a great experience to go and watch football. The reason I will be renewing my season ticket is not because I enjoy the experience, it's not because of the stadium. It's because I support West Ham and I want to go see West Ham. That's why I will renew. Even though there's a price increase, I will still renew. But and the thing is, I know people say, well, if you want to make a protest, don't renew. The club don't care. They won't care about this video. They won't care about the petition, because for all those people that don't renew, there's people willing to take their places. They'll be replaced just like that. That waiting list is a myth. We know that. But there are some people that want a season ticket that currently don't have one. And the club won't care if a couple of thousand people decide not to renew. They'll just get a couple of thousand more people in. And the proof of that is in the fact that what I said at the very start, they've just bumped the age up from 65 to 66. So people that are 65 years old that have possibly supported the club for 65 years, had a season ticket for 65 years. They're obviously not. They wouldn't have had one at zero, but they could have had a season ticket for the majority of their life.
Yep.
The club don't care about them. Why would they care about me, who's had a season ticket for 7 years, or you, who's had a season ticket? They're not. They're not going to care. They've just shown they don't care about people that are 65 years old.
No. Yeah, I mean, pretty rancid stuff, really. Anyway, there you go. Those are our thoughts on it. I'd appreciate if you go and give the petition a look. We don't do much of this stuff now, and quite frankly, it makes a nice change from moaning about David Moyes to moan about.
Bet his
else.
fault. I bet he decided to put the prices up.
He did. He's got that way about him, hasn't he? It was definitely Moyes. He
Must
said
be a Scottish thing.
He said that these so-called experts make them pay more. But the real bonus is, if you are a pensioner, the club have just made you a year younger. So you're probably feeling that extra vibrancy about yourself.
Maybe that's what Moyes said. Maybe Moyes said, I can't really hear those up in band 5 and 6 because they're so far away from the pitch. So just give them a 4% increase, but the rest of them can have 8%. They're getting on my wick.
Yes, the vocal ones. Yeah, the vocal experts.
Get rid of them. 8% increase. Price them out.
Yes. For clarity, that was a joke. We don't blame David Moyes. The price increase,
yeah,
and also
the price increase was a joke as well.
The price increase of patron was also a joke. There's none.
Yeah.
It was,
and the price increase by West Ham's a joke as well.
That is a bloody joke. Right. Thank you very much. We'll catch you later.